Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg. I hope you guys are ready to unpack and get into some good conversations today.
And I'm Jess, and this is our podcast, Baggage Claim. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to Baggage Claim, everybody. So excited about tonight's topic. But before we get into that, if you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you're a regular here, welcome back. Hope you got your favorite drink in your hand. If you're new, grab that favorite drink, whether it's coffee, whether it's a little strong, whatever it is for you. Grab that drink, pull up to the table. I was really loud right there.
It's okay.
Got a little excited.
So excited.
Yeah, I am.
Pull up to the table, everybody.
Yeah, just metaphorically and just kind of take a deep breath.
I mean, you could physically come here and pull up to the table.
You could, yeah. And just kind of relax and let's get into some fun conversations. Baggage Claim is about some fun conversations and community around blended family and marriages.
Yes.
So tonight's topic is going to be a fun one.
Tonight, we're going to talk about something that every marriage has. Why are you holding Bigfoot?
A Bigfoot.
If you're not watching us on
every
YouTube.
marriage, just to say,
You have
I don't
to tell
know
our
where you're
listeners
at.
who are not looking on
Okay,
YouTube.
so yeah, you're just listening. We have this cutout of a big Bigfoot in our studio,
boy.
which I absolutely love.
It's
Connected.
Big, it's the shadow.
I cannot stop watching those stupid AI
Oh my
Bigfoot
gosh.
on TikTok. Like it
Yes.
consumes. The other night, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I was still just watching them. And the Yeti,
Yeah, the Yeti.
I laughed.
And now there's
so
the Bigfoot
freaking-
girl.
Yeah, I don't like her as much.
Did you see there's there's some rodent has got one now. It
I
wasn't
saw a couple beavers who.
it was the
had one.
beaver.
Yeah, a couple beavers
Am I-
had
okay,
one.
we're going too
There's
far.
penguins. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we're
sorry.
going too far.
Bigfoot is the real deal. So anyway, sorry,
That's
no,
not what
that's
we're
not what we're talking about in your marriage.
We need
if
to
you
say-
have Bigfoot in your marriage, then
way to
rock
go.
on. Yeah,
We need to say that for a different episode. Talk about your Bigfoot
Bigfoot's real.
Bigfoot lore.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
So we're going to talk about something that every marriage has, but it's the thing that we talk the least about.
Okay, we hope every marriage has this. If you don't have this, it can create
Something's
issues.
wrong.
Okay, I do want to say this though. Like today's topic is a little different from any other topic we've shared
Yeah,
so
it's probably
far.
not for little ears.
Yeah, so if you're in the car and there's little ones around, you may want to hit pause. You may want to wait till later.
Yeah, that's true.
This is probably
We're
not,
not going to be ugly or vulgar, but it's
Right.
it's a mature topic.
and I don't want to start a conversation for you that you have to finish with your kids.
Yeah,
Going, what's he talking about?
yeah.
So if that's the case, go
I'm
ahead
pretty
and hit
sure you've
pause.
gathered what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Yes, the
Money.
S word. No,
Oh,
the
okay.
S word.
Yes. So what was the old song? Let's talk about sex, baby.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you and
Yeah,
me.
okay, salt and
Let's
pepper.
talk oh, that's who it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow,
Yeah.
that was back in my day. Anyway, so yeah, to today's topic, we're talking
Yeah.
about sex. Now, we're not going to get into the
No.
down and dirty of it. One,
No.
because Thomas is our producer today, our son,
Our
and I
son.
don't want to put him in
But
too
also,
awkward
even
of a
if our son
position.
wasn't sitting here, I would literally die. Just because
I have to be careful because sometimes I say
you
things.
get carried away.
My mouth will open up and words come out when
Yeah.
they probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
So,
and this is part of why it's important to talk about it. Because
correct.
I'm 47 and my cheeks still turn red if we talk about something that is
Can
like,
I be honest?
Oh no!
We recorded this episode last week,
Oh my gosh!
and Jess was so embarrassed. And it was
so
so it was so
nervous.
bad. We had to scrap
I
it.
was
We're doing it
talking
again.
in circles.
She said the same thing like 4 times.
I was literally a nervous wreck.
Anyway,
So
okay.
this is take 2 for the sex talk. If that tells you how nervous I am about this.
So we're still trying. I mean, there's still some things we're trying to figure out, and we've been at this for 13 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This go around, you were at it for you
11.
got married when you're 16.
No, I did not.
How much? Sorry,
That was-
11 years.
I was married for 11
Okay, so
years.
Jess is
And-
24 years into marriage, and talking about
Collectively.
sex still makes
And
her
it's
embarrassed.
Still difficult.
Yeah, so that should tell you where we're at. Like,
Well, a lot of that has to do with how I was raised.
100%.
And,
Well, it has to do with, I mean, it all has to do with how we're raised.
well, yeah.
Like, I mean, what we don't realize as parents and even as adults, how we interact with other people, how we interact with our wives, how we communicate.
Mhm.
All those things has so much to do with how we were raised
Yeah.
and the environment that we grew up in.
Well,
So
growing up, sex was not something that was talked about. It was dirty. It was just not something that you talk about,
at all.
period.
So did your mom and dad, did you like catch them like in the kitchen smooching, making out, anything
No.
like that? Okay.
Never. Never.
Okay. All right.
No. You?
No, absolutely not. My dad was an alcoholic. No, he was usually throwing shit and drunk. So I just
You said a bad
I
word.
did. Anyway, but yeah, he was usually just so it was not that. Now my stepdad,
Yeah,
with
like
Sherman,
there was a
it
little bit
the-
more
yes,
healthier
yeah.
environment.
It was very
when,
healthy with them.
Yeah,
yes.
when they got married.
Yeah, it was a lot better.
Yeah.
So, and I was in like
So
freshman in high school.
I was raised with it was dirty, it was yuck. You don't talk about it. You? What?
I was raised,
little bit
and I wasn't
different?
raised, but I spent a lot of time on a construction
In
crew
your
laying
young,
gas line.
formidable years.
Yes,
like
in middle
12.
school, early,
Yeah.
I was introduced to a lot of things way too early.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much I didn't know, as far as that went, and not in a good, healthy way.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, it's just it was different. It was
Yeah.
very different. Like, yeah. And it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't, I don't want to say
Right.
it's a good different. I don't think the way that it happened for me and the way that it happened for you, I don't think either one of those
It's not right versus wrong.
right.
It's just exposure, I guess. Is that the right word? I don't know.
But anyway, it was
Yeah.
it's starkly different.
Yes.
I learned a lot way early before. It actually this is weird. It kind of scared me toward women, like a little bit, the whole sex thing. Like
Yeah.
that was not, I steered clear of that a lot in high school because I was like, no. And which is kind of interesting. So
It is.
playing football, growing up in the construction crew, all of those things, like, but I was introduced to things that weren't the healthiest things, introduced to pornography at a really young age
Right.
on a construction crew. That's before the internet, so it was all magazine stuff.
Right.
But it was not a healthy vision or picture for what sex is.
But also
in a
on the
relationship.
flip side, even though you were overexposed, for me, I don't know that it was necessarily healthy for me either because it was dirty and it was a no and those kinds of things. So
there was no talking at all. Like you didn't talk
No.
about it all. Like for me, that was the other problem with that. Like we were so used to it, like nothing was off topic. Like you
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
no.
anything and everything.
No.
So it made it kind of interesting. So it's really cool when you look at
When you back up and look at it.
when you
Yeah.
back up and look at marriage, like women are, and you can speak to this more than me, of course, because you're a woman and I'm not. Men are more for
Thank
the.
you for clarifying.
I appreciate that. Men are more of the physical attraction. Like
Right.
it's like I want to see her. I want to
Mhm.
this the visual aspect of that, not just the
Mm-hmm.
the emotional side. Now, guys want to be. They want to hear from their
Want to be
woman.
wanted, that
Yeah.
sort of emotional fulfillment. But
Yeah.
for men, I feel like most of the time it's a physical satisfaction. But for women, we're looking for that emotional connection most of the time. Not 100% of the time for either or, but in general, I feel
Right.
like that's probably.
And then we fall back into that same trap we always fall back into when we don't know how to communicate something in marriage. What do? We shut down and we don't talk about it at
We
all.
do. I like to
And
shut down. It's fun.
And so, so what you do is you go to your prospective corners,
Yes.
and you're like, well, we're not going to talk about what I really want. And
Mm-hmm.
so what happens? The man goes, not always, but
Not
sometimes
always.
the man goes to porn
Mm-hmm.
to look to satisfy that, and then the woman goes to either novels, Instagram, romance novels,
Well,
whatever it may be. Like,
Even looking for that emotional fulfillment, that's when a lot of wives will dive into their children that's meeting that need of feeling wanted. Like the kids want you and like all these commitments. And yes, the spicy novels and those types of things.
and social media too. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
gosh, yeah.
women's interaction on social media is so much higher than guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just that kind of, but it's that I want that acceptance, I want the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Guys want that. We just really suck at telling people hey, I want to be wanted by you. I
Right.
want to know that you're proud of me, that you're,
Mm-hmm.
that you love me, that you want me. Like we guys want that. They're just not as upfront about it as women are.
Yeah. I
So
think that a lot of married couples or couples in general might forget that sex is not just a physical act that feels good, because I mean, it's obviously that, but it's meeting a need for your partner, and you're meeting those needs together. So it's not like you're going to go find that need for yourself. Well, no, I can do that.
correct.
And I want you to want that from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we have these, like when I say we don't know how to communicate, so we don't communicate at all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore we put up those walls and it's really awkward, it's really weird.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we're not going to talk about it. And then you have these weird, kind of probably unrealistic expectations of what it should be. And you never even talk about what you want or what you think it should be or what you want it to be. And then therefore, when those aren't met, you get frustrated, she gets frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
and then you find yourself back in that same spot again going, well, crap, here we are.
Well, I mean, for goodness sake, most of the things we talk about goes back to a communication, issue. I mean, because it is. And then every time there's a communication issue, it goes back to having unmet expectations. But because you didn't communicate it clearly of what you actually want, those needs are not going to be met.
Because, I mean, there's a difference in communicating and sharing your expectations when it comes to money
Mm-hmm.
and relationships and the kids and everything else, but it's completely different.
Oh gosh, it's so vulnerable.
Yeah, when you're like, hey, let's talk about sex. This is what I want. Yeah, it's very, very vulnerable. It's like letting the guard down completely.
Yes, completely.
Yeah. And so there's a huge level of trust with that.
Yeah.
There's a chance for you to build trust.
Mm-hmm.
Drastically, there's a chance for you to destroy trust also.
Yeah.
So it's definitely.
I mean, I'd say, money talks and those kinds of things are hard, but I feel like one of the most difficult conversations you can actually have in marriage is about sex. And I feel like it's avoided too often. And I'm guilty of that.
Well,
I'm throwing myself under the bus on that one.
Well, yeah, like, no, it's rare that people talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rare that people are open and honest about it to say, hey, communicate what you want, because you're afraid. If I communicate to you what I want and you go, oh, you're sick and deprived.
That's weird.
Like, you're weird. Like, you're a sicko. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, well.
Or if I say what I want, you're not living in a romance novel. What are you talking about? That's not real.
And then you're just like, well, I'm just going to go turn Netflix on or
yeah,
YouTube and watch golf.
Go.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to even touch that or deal with that. And so that's what happens. You create this divide and you don't really share or talk about it. You don't explore some of those things and so it's therefore, and I'm not getting into what's right, what's wrong for you. We're not going there today.
That's for you and your partner to decide.
That's for you guys to figure out and have a communication about and talk about. There's certain things that I would say, you should probably just steer clear of this. You should steer clear of that. There's some pretty obvious things you should.
Well, I mean, to most people it'd be obvious probably, but.
Okay, yeah, it's true. But at the same time, this is have a conversation. I'm just saying we're talking like basement level, foundational.
We're not talking about this to share our own opinions. We're just talking about it as a healthy relationship point of view.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the basis of it, when you get down to it, like sex was created by God.
Correct.
It was created to procreate, but it was also created for the husband and wife to enjoy each other.
Correct. Yes.
You're supposed to enjoy it.
Yeah. And if you're looking for that part of the Bible, go to Song of Solomon and just camp out there for a while.
But I mean, even back in Genesis, whenever God created man and woman, like we were created.
I am reading through Genesis. I'm doing a chronological read through Genesis.
Yeah.
Bruh. Like there's some crazy junk in Genesis. I don't know if you've done that in a while. You should go check it out. It's really interesting. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah. But if you haven't, you should read this Song of Solomon because it's like, yikes.
Yeah. It's pretty. So
it's colorful and poetic language, but also it's not.
Right. So we can start with the basic standard of saying, okay, sex is different for women than it is for men. That's pretty easy. We know that. It's kind of simple. Like, that's a foundation. We
Yeah.
know that. So, all right, let's have a conversation around those things to say, okay, how do we even, because even just trying to figure out how do we start this conversation?
Yeah.
What does this look like?
Yeah.
Like,
First of all, tell yourself it's okay that you want it.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah. If you don't, then there's something else
There's
wrong.
another different.
Yeah, there's another issue and something else that needs to be addressed and something that needs to be talked about.
It's also okay to talk about what you like and what you don't like.
Correct. And be honest. That's the thing that we don't do, is be honest when it comes to this conversation, because you're afraid you're going to hurt each other's feelings or one way or the other. Or again, you're being vulnerable and you're afraid you're going to get shot down.
Yeah.
But it's literally and kind of give the umbrella of grace to say, hey, we can talk about these things here. This is a safe place for us to talk about. I'm not going to use this against you and throw it up against you when I get mad or something I don't agree with.
I would rather you talk about those things with me than anybody else.
Well, because if they're not talking about them with each other, they're talking about them somewhere. They're going somewhere else to have that conversation.
And that's not okay.
No, have the conversation in there now, in the relationship.
Well, and communication as you go along too, because I mean, we've experienced different seasons in the time that we've been married. Like we didn't have infants and toddlers and little guys together, but we had little kids, a house full of little kids.
Yes.
So we have personally experienced different seasons.
Yeah,
together.
Because where you're at, like, just pause where you're at, and like the season you're in marriage it's not going to be that way forever.
No.
But also too, if you're not careful, you can find yourself in a comfortable zone, and you get stuck there.
Yes.
And if you don't work to get out of it, you'll be there for the rest of your marriage.
I mean, so not to throw producer Thomas under the bus, but like we said earlier, producer Thomas tonight is here. Our son, our oldest, they have a 9-month-old. I can pretty much guarantee that now that Lucy's 9 months old, it's a lot different for you and Miranda than when you first got married. Just like when all of y'all were little and it was a circus, it was different then than it is now. Or, the ages of kids, their sports involvement, and all of the commitments that you have whenever you're raising kids. If you're not communicating about what you need and what you want in your own relationship, those kids are going to overshadow everything.
Yeah.
And it's going to, like you just said, it's just going to stay that way.
Yeah. And then sometimes every couple does this. I know. So it's just one of those things to just like, hey, everybody does it, so it's okay. Like you're texting back and forth. You'd be like, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then it usually ends with you falling asleep on the couch, or one's in a chair, one's somewhere else. Like that happens.
I fall asleep reading.
Don't beat yourself up, because that's normal life. You're living life. You're trying to raise a family. You're trying to have a job. Like those things are difficult.
It is.
So just know that that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't hold yourself to a ridiculously stupid standard.
Well, yeah. Your kids' ages play into it, but then your own age plays into it.
That is true,
too.
Yes.
Because we've gone from our 30s to you've just entered your 50s.
Thank you for sharing
together.
My age online too. I appreciate that.
You already told
I'm getting those AARP
earlier.
cards in the mail, and I just rip them up, and I'm like, bruh.
But
nope.
I'm 47. Does that make you feel better? I've said how old I am.
No, it does not at all. No,
because there's not a 5 in front of it.
Yeah, you got a 4. I got a 5.
But like, we've gone through enough life together to like, we've changed just how our bodies work. My hormones are a disaster. Like, we've gone through those things, but we continue to talk about it. And I mean, I've gotten help from a specialist, a hormonal specialist. I mean, it's hard to believe that I'm at that age, but that's where we are.
Right.
And so, like I was saying a second ago, the things change with your kids' ages, but it changes with your age too.
When, I know this sounds completely obvious, but I will say it again. Like when you're in a relationship and they're sex, you have to be intentional when you
Mm-hmm.
have little kids. When it's just the two of you and there's nobody else, okay.
It's
You
easy.
don't have to be as intentional. But when you have a kid, you're like, bro, we got a babysitter. I've
Mm-hmm.
already spent $40 and we ain't even left the house yet. Like,
Yeah,
we're going to eat. It's like, this is, like you just had to be intentional
you
in
do.
planning. And because you plan your romantic time together, it doesn't lessen that at all.
No.
It doesn't make it any less meaningful. But at the same time, that's
about
again,
being intentional.
it's a season.
It's a season.
And it will change.
It
Just
will.
give it time.
Well, I mean, when the kids were growing up, we would schedule like an Atlanta date night where we would spend the night away.
God, those were so fun. So we would always try to find these really cool speakeasies around Atlanta.
We found a lot of cool spots that we take our kids to now. But
yeah, just kind of a fun, just to go chill vibe.
uh-huh.
And then we'd usually stay.
But
in
we'd
Atlanta
have to
overnight.
schedule
we'd have dinner
it
somewhere
weeks in advance.
Yeah.
To make sure everybody was where they needed to be.
But then there's those some nights, like those were really, really fun. But then there was some nights where it's like, we're watching Talladega Nights and we got a box of tacos from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
we're vegging out on the couch,
Yeah.
eating tacos from Taco Bell and watching Talladega Nights and laughing.
Well, a lot of the time, transparency, when the kids were younger, those nights were necessary just for budget reasons.
Well, yeah,
We
you're
had
broke.
4 kids doing 47 different things, but those, even the at-home date nights, we were so intentional and planned those just as hard as we planned the Atlanta ones that, I mean, there was a good chunk of time that the home ones were our favorites.
Right. I mean, because you have to, this is where communication comes in, though, because if she's expecting a night in Atlanta and you're thinking Taco
Tacos
Bell,
and a funny movie.
Yeah, like, and you're not sharing those with each other when it comes time
It'd
to
be
be
a
like,
disappointment for somebody.
yeah, somebody's getting their feelings hurt and getting
Yeah.
mad, and then the whole night's just trashed. So that's where it goes back to just have the conversation. Like, even as crazy as it is, and I know this is probably being a little too honest, but sometimes the communication is like, this is where we're at in our life now. Like, if we're getting in the car and I'm like, hey, is tonight, like, we're going to,
Are we going to play?
yeah, we're going to play now? Is it like a no thank you? Because it's going to depend on what I get to eat tonight. Like, either if it's not, I'm going, like, if we are, we're like, yeah, I'm getting the chicken Caesar wrap and some fries.
Or if I'm like, no,
but if
thank
not,
you.
I'm like, okay, I'm going all in with the
Fettuccine
fettuccine Alfredo with the chicken. It's like, because there's certain things you're just like, bro, I can't.
It's okay to be forward and ask.
Yeah, I'm like, do I get a
what are-
salad or do I go for the, like, the, am I getting the really, the
Or
big,
you're getting the double-decker burger situation.
yeah, with
Yeah.
cheese and bacon and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like, ugh,
Oh, and that
afterwards.
special sauce. Where was that? It was so good. Anyway.
The 57, it's at Taco Mac.
Oh, Taco Mac, yeah.
The 57 sauce.
Anyway,
It
but
was-
it's okay because you know what? Like we keep saying, if you ask ahead of time, it's going to prevent unmet expectations.
Yeah, that doesn't steal, again, it doesn't steal away from the moment. It doesn't
No.
take from what is happening. It is just like, if you don't do that, like, you may have expectations. You're
Yeah.
going on a date and be like, yeah, this is happening tonight. And you're
I'm
sitting over there in the
like,
passenger seat going, there's
no.
absolutely no way in the world this is happening tonight. And it's like, even if I just don't have that stupid, simple conversation, like, my expectations are going to be torqued up and you're going to be like, well, why are you mad? Like, why are you
Right.
upset? And I'll be like,
You
well,
should just
I
know
thought,
that my stomach has been hurting all day.
yeah. So it's just like, I
Oh,
don't
wait,
know
I
those
didn't tell
things.
you that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
You know.
it's always that
Yeah.
the idea of just trying to figure it out. Just go ahead and pull the cap off.
Producer Thomas, he's trying to pull a cap off of the dry erase marker. If you
So
can hear
we're-
creaking, it's okay.
Just so you know,
Okay, thank you, bud.
we're in the process of trying to figure out how to get better mics because these mics pick up.
Everything.
I think a mouse just farted in the corner and the mic picked it up. So it's like we're trying to figure out. We're trying to get some better mics, but we're on a
Yeah, just
shoestring
a-
budget right now.
Yeah, a few seconds ago, I just kind of held up my hand and pointed to my wrist, like, where we at on time, trying to be discreet about it. Well, then the creaky dry erase marker, it's okay.
We're figuring it out.
We're doing
people.
this in our house.
We're
We don't
doing-
know what we're doing. It's okay.
We are doing this in our house. And so, but it's also too, again, back on the
Yes.
subject.
Well, here's the thing too that I think that a lot of just to, again, throw my own self under the bus, a lot of people that were raised like me, where sex is dirty and you don't talk about it, it's okay to educate yourself.
Right. Yes.
And that doesn't mean porn.
No, not at all.
It's okay. There is stuff out there that you can look at together and read together.
What does she really want? What does he really want?
What are you after?
Are you okay with the things that he wants and the things that she wants?
Yeah.
And figure out what those, like, marriage is a place where if you can't have that conversation in your marriage, where are you having that conversation at?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should be able to talk about those things.
And not all of there's studies you can do, and kind of like the book of questions that we have that we like to do, some of the lighthearted questions that we'll do every now and again. There's books like that you can do together as a couple about sex, just to help you talk about it.
Right. Just to kick the conversation
and
off.
They're not all Bible-based, because some of the Bible-based ones get a little
cheesy.
Yeah.
They get a lot cheesy.
A lot cheesy. And that's okay, too. There's a time and a place for that.
And if that fits you and that's where you're at, okay, be
Have
there.
at it.
I'm not saying you got to go dirty, raunchy, whatever it is. You got to, like, find what fits where you're at.
Yeah.
But I'm saying more than anything else, just at least have the conversation.
Yeah.
Just at least start the talk. Because if you're not, it just leads down a road that's not healthy for anybody.
It's not. It's just not. And sometimes that unhealthy road may just lead to both of you are just miserable and you just choose to stay there. Sometimes when the road leads to you're not happy, it makes one spouse stray from your commitment.
Well, usually,
just to say it nicely.
Honestly, what happens in those situations is the wife attaches herself to the kids.
Yeah.
And she starts to pulling all of her life into that. The husband, the natural reaction is to pour himself into his job. And his life. And so everything about him, if you ask a man, just like, hey, tell me about yourself. The very first thing he's going to do is tell you what he does for a living. And that's just because guys are like, well, this is what I do, so this is who I am. But
yeah, and for us, the first thing we're going to talk about is our kids.
Yeah, and it's just about like, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah,
it's not what I do. I do those things so I can live my life.
Yeah.
So it's always guys are just, and they do that, and if you don't do anything about it, you just continue to work those separate ways, and then it's just like the whole sex thing is like he wants sex, and I don't even like him. I can't even stand to be around him. She doesn't like me. She doesn't find me attractive. Blah 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 blah. And then it just becomes so easy when somebody at the gym or somebody at work goes, "Oh, you look so good." It's just like boom. Next thing you know, you're in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
And so it's like be intentional and have the conversation with your significant other.
Yeah.
Like have the conversation.
So let's unpack.
Yeah. Okay. This one's going to be a little, our episode's a little shorter, but that's okay. There's not a lot you can say about sex other than talk about it and do it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Practice makes perfect, is what they say.
Yeah. I'm proud of you for, we're not done.
I haven't made any inappropriate.
I was about to say, I'm proud of you for not being inappropriate, but we're not finished yet. I'm going to save that.
Okay.
So,
I'm working really hard over
You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you.
Filters on.
I'm proud. Well, in the unpack portion, we like to make some notes about where we're going to go and things that we think that maybe people can put into practice in your real life. Not maybe, hopefully people can put into practice in their real life. Well,
here's what I struggle with, because I was listening to I'm a podcast junkie, so I was listening to podcasts today. I was riding in the car, and there was
when you were stuck in traffic going 0 miles an hour.
About it. So, but I'm stuck in the car, and I realized I was like, I know what to do. Sometimes I know what to do. Just give me one simple first step.
Yeah.
And then give me a simple second step. Like, let's don't overcomplicate this.
Okay.
Like, let's just go. Like, for me, it's like, sometimes it's just like, okay, let's get.
Okay. I've got it.
Simple.
I've got it.
Okay.
Ready?
Give it to me.
Take your clothes off and have a good time.
You talking about like right now?
No, not right now.
Okay. Sorry. That could be awkward for Thomas.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Greg.
That was my unappropriate. Dang it. I almost made it.
You almost made it.
Yeah.
No, but with your spouse, partner, get naked and have fun.
Right. There's a sign in our bathroom. It's right above our bathtub though.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes me laugh every time I see it. It just says get
Get
naked.
naked.
And so that should
When we
be
moved here and we were redoing the everything, and I put that sign up, Callie walked in there.
Yeah.
And she was helping me put something else in the bathroom. And she was like, "Oh my God, Jesse, really?" And I was like, yeah, really.
So I agree. I think that's a really, really good first step.
You said a simple first step.
Yep. Okay.
I
What
mean,
do you got for number
that'll
2
do
then? That's a good first step. Like,
I feel like it is.
yeah.
So the next thing that we talked about is that you have to learn to be okay with talking about your wants and needs in the bedroom.
Mm.
And I'm talking to myself because we've been married for a long time. And I personally still struggle with what do I want or need.
I'm just curious out there. For those of you who aren't watching, I'm holding my finger up. I don't know why I'm holding my finger
He's
up.
making a point.
I'm about to make a point here.
It's important if you're watching us on the video.
Yes. You can catch us on
video
YouTube too.
is
We
not
try to
what I-
we try to upload those on YouTube. We're struggling, but we're getting there.
Here we go. Now you're holding up 2 fingers.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I got so into
no.
the thing.
Okay,
My
let me
mind-
repeat what I said. Learn to be okay with talking about your wants and needs in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's not it.
Okay, cool.
God, my ADD mind just
It'll
went
circle back.
somewhere
It always
else.
circles back. So here's it's okay to laugh.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
if you haven't laughed at least once, you're being way too serious about it.
oh my
God.
I'm
Are you-
about to be very vulnerable right now. I'm going to share this moment with you guys.
Just a little bit.
What? This is all about me. You're going to think this is my humiliation for the entire world.
This was last
hear.
week.
No, it's not. We were on our honeymoon.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe
And
you're
we're-
about to tell this story.
And we're in this little thatch.
Thomas is laughing because he knows this story.
It's in this little thatch cabin thing.
It was a hut. It was a
a-
glorified, fancy hut.
Off this island in Belize. It was super cool though.
It was amazing.
But it really didn't have walls. It just had these.
I mean, it
they
went
would go
like
up.
maybe like 8 feet or so.
Yeah, and there was a stop. So it's open like the whole roof was open
Yeah.
to the same thing.
So like our quote unquote bathroom, it was
Well, we had-
private-ish, but it didn't have walls.
So we had been out in the middle of the ocean. It felt like you couldn't see land, and we're on this reef, and they cooked us dinner
Yeah.
out there, and we're cooking, and they have drinks, and they're like we're
It was
sitting on a
It
table.
was on a sandbar.
We're sitting
and
on a
you-
table
and we couldn't see
with
land
chairs.
in
No,
any
there's no land
direction.
anywhere. It's the coolest
It was
thing.
ridiculous.
Like we're sitting in the middle of the ocean eating lobster and
So
fish.
we were exploring. I know what you're about to talk
Yeah,
about.
we're exploring. So I see this massive starfish.
Well, before your starfish story, I was picking up all these giant conch shells
this
with
is
the.
not about you. This is my story. You're just stealing my
with
story.
The conch still in it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a different
So
story.
anyway, I find this
Okay.
starfish and I go to step off. Well, it's a little deeper than I thought, and I tweaked my back, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God!" So I'm tweaking my back. So
But
I
I
finally
still
get
do have a really cute picture of you with the
So I
starfish
got
on
the
your head.
starfish and put it on my head.
We're
and
gonna share it.
Draped over my ear. It was massive.
It was
So
a huge
anyway,
starfish
that is part of the story because we're back
in our hut.
at the hut that night, and I was like, "Oh, it's on! It's that time!" And so I go, and Jess is laying in this really big king bed, and we got this big
This
cool ceiling thing
Beautiful
going, thatch roof.
draperies,
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
just
literally dreamy.
amazing.
And you said, "I've got to go to the bathroom and be
No,
right
no,
back."
no! I said I'm gonna take my shorts. I went to take my
But
shorts
you
off.
went toward the bathroom.
No, the bathroom was there.
Okay.
And so I go to take my shorts off. Well, my back was tweaked. And so my foot got caught in my shorts when I was trying to get off because your back's hurt. If you ever had your back hurt, you know what I'm talking about.
And you weren't holding on to anything.
No, and I start falling. And as I start falling,
Farting.
I started to fart. And I farted all the way to the ground.
And you fell in like slow motion.
I fell, hit the door, fell out the door, hit the door frame, and landed in the middle of the door. The door's wide open.
Still farting.
Farting my shorts literally around my ankles. And I'm laying here and I'm just looking at you going, I shook my head. There's no recovery from that. And I'm just like, I thought I was trying to do some sexy dance or something to get out of my shorts. And literally, embarrassed myself to death. Like it was.
That was so funny.
Yeah, and so there's just no recovering from it. So
There's
to
not.
say,
I thought you were going to talk about the other day when you didn't know what to do with your arms.
I did make that statement. I don't know what them arms are in the way. But we laughed about that one too.
Oh my gosh, I forgot
So
about that.
if you're not laughing in the bedroom,
You're being too serious.
you're taking yourself way too serious.
Oh my
like
gosh.
just relax a little bit. It's not like you're not doing brain surgery. Okay.
Thank you for bringing up that great memory.
So that's me. That's true. That
true
really happened.
vulnerability right there.
Yeah,
That was real life.
And I can't believe I shared it for the world. But anyway,
I'm so proud of you.
thank you. So laugh,
Yeah.
have fun, cut up. Like this is it's a fun thing for you and your significant other to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what it was created for. So have fun, enjoy, laugh with each other.
Sometimes there's storybook romance and sometimes there's farts.
Yeah, sometimes there's beautiful candles and sometimes you almost knock yourself out on the door frame while you're farting. Trying to keep your pants off. Like it's just
Oh my gosh.
who knows?
Okay.
What's our number?
Well,
What's our
the next one? It's hard to go from laughing so hard to being. Okay, so intimacy begins way before the bedroom. I mean, that's a sharp left
that's a
turn
man.
right there.
Yeah, we just
But it does. And like you were talking about earlier, like there's like all these texts that go back and forth during the day. Like you're trying to, set your like intention way ahead of the time.
Yep.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and it's not. Here's the thing, though. It's not like you can get mad or frustrated when it doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna say, just be okay sometimes. When it does, just be excited that it did. When it doesn't, it's okay. Give some grace to one person or the other because, yeah, it'd be perfect if life would just work out the way you planned it all the time, but that's not life.
No,
like
it's
just kind of difficult. And so be okay with that. But it does for guys, like it doesn't take much for you. Like you can walk by and smack her on the butt in the kitchen and be like, yeah, it's on. It may take a little bit more for her to get there.
Yeah.
So keep
sometimes
that in mind.
that works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So don't be, and just because it works one time doesn't mean it works every time.
No.
So
welcome to being a girl.
Yeah, it's
It
just
doesn't
like
always work.
Mm-mm.
You hate when I bring up this phrase. About
Oh God.
I'm about to say
Yes,
it's such a church phrase.
It's an old school church thing.
Yeah. Women are crock pots and men are microwaves.
Yeah. You can cook a roast in a microwave though.
And you can baked potato too. We learned that from our daughter-in-law.
We did. So microwaves are pretty handy. But anyway,
are.
regardless, the concept is
But then
women take longer to get there. Not all women are like that,
not
but
all,
most.
but to your point you just said, you can walk past your girl in the kitchen and smack her on the butt and she's like, oh, okay. Like, just talk.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Like hold her hand when you ride in the car.
That's a big deal for us.
Hug her when she's in the kitchen. If you guys are in the kitchen cooking together,
Mm-hmm.
hug on her, kiss her on the cheek. Kiss her on the cheek in the mornings.
Forehead kisses.
And
we all like those.
And don't expect anything in return. Like, hey, I want to love you. I want to show you affection. Those things are okay. And they're okay in front of your kids because you get to show your kids what a real loving relationship looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be ashamed to love on each other in front of your kids. I mean, I feel
now,
like
if you're out in public, there's some lines. Don't cross those lines. You see people cross those lines
but
sometimes.
It's okay to show that you love each other.
Yes, it really is.
There's one little side note of kind of like a warning, I guess I would say, just because I'm a reader. I don't read these kinds of books often, but I think that sometimes, mostly women, I guess some men read them, but you need to be careful about expecting like the spicy books, like that kind of same quality in real life, because that's not real life.
No.
Or movies or whatever.
Well, it's the same as a guy watching some porn thing and think that's going to happen at his house. Like, really? Like,
you're married to a
man.
normal woman.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
And,
just be careful of just being unrealistic.
We're not advocating to do anything like outside. So hear us say that.
Yeah.
I'm advocating for you to sit down with your spouse and have a conversation and share your expectations.
Talk about what you want. Talk about what you like. And have a good time
have
being
fun
married.
with it. Yeah. So, with all that being said,
Yeah.
we're just going to say, hey, thanks for joining tonight and go get naked.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Greg. You almost made it.
there we go.
There we go. Thank you for joining us on Baggage Claim tonight.
Baggage claim.
Oh gosh.